Welcome to the Dilemma Dudes podcast. Hey,
Welcome to the Dilemma Dudes podcast. My name is Noah.
My name is Devon.
And I'm Keelan.
Nice. Well, we're today.
Wait, hang on. Did something happen?
That took. Wait, no, that was good. That was
No,
good.
it's just an awkward pause. It's like afterwards.
Okay, I was
just
like,
took
you
way
guys
too many
paused
tries to
afterwards. Did something
get here.
happen?
Yeah, we need to include all of these attempts, every single attempt.
I don't. It's the easiest intro in the world, and somehow every
we keep
time,
screwing it up.
every time it's messed up. Anyways.
Future Noah, who is editing this, you better keep in every single attempt, every single one.
I don't think I want to put people through that. It's pretty
Oof.
brutal.
We better. Anyway.
Well, today we're discussing. I went through some Reddit forums and found the most interesting real life dilemmas that people submitted of things. Well, I don't know if they're all real life. I think some of them are like hypothetical situations that people were like, I thought of this and I want to know what people think. But some of them were real life. And we're going to discuss them from the depths of Reddit. And I'm kind of excited for this.
Reddit is a scary place.
A deep
There's
net.
like Reddit. We have endless sources of dilemmas to discuss.
Because
now.
it's like it's not
Did we
monitored.
not have one from Sage that we were going to do?
Yes,
this
I have
week
that.
as well?
I have that one as well from
Amazing.
Okay, cool.
from our
I was
boy.
gonna say, I feel like there's a
Sage,
couple
who
other,
submitted-
Sage, as he likes to be
Okay.
called.
That's
Yeah.
gross, but okay.
We didn't get a chance to get to it last week on our fan question episode, so this week we're going to get to that one. So I don't know. I guess we can get right into it.
Let's jump in.
Yeah, let's do it.
No dicking around today. Just right into the dilemmas.
I mean, I did a little bit of that earlier, but
Like, honestly, I feel like this podcast is not only a podcast, but just our weekly checkup on each other.
Yeah,
And just
It
like
is.
every time we hop on the call, we instantly have stories from the week
guys,
to tell.
who
It's
needs
true, yeah.
therapy when you have a moral dilemma podcast? Okay.
Yeah. Who needs therapy when you have a podcast? You know,
Exactly.
Exactly.
that's why everyone's doing it. Anyways, let's start with Sage's question. Well, Sage brought up the situation, and then we sort of all added on to it, and it became the question that it is. And it's a pretty interesting one. So, a lifelong friend of yours who you have lost touch with comes back into your life.
Kill
However,
him.
you lost
I
touch
mean,
with
what?
them due to You lost touch with them due to them going down a road of drug abuse. One day they show up at your door asking for money, ensuring you they'll use it to get their life back on track, and that they want to avoid ever having to go to rehab. You're not sure if you should believe them, as they don't really have the best track record with these kind of things, but it does seem like they are looking a bit better, / they're kind of in better spirits. So, do you use the money, and instead of giving it to them to help them get back on their feet, you send them to rehab, ruining your trust and the friendship with them? Or do you give them the money, just like, hey, take this money, with the possibility that they might spend it on drugs, and you could actually just make their problem worse?
Sorry, what was the first option?
You use the money and send them to rehab.
Oh, like you don't give it to them. You just go, get out of here. Go to
Yeah.
rehab.
You're going to rehab. Here's the money.
That's what I'd do.
Yeah. Send
Yeah,
them to
I'm pretty
rehab.
confident.
Ruin the
Except-
friendship forever.
That it's not
Probably.
actually legal for you to do that.
Okay, we're talking hypothetical situations here, okay?
Because legally you can't
We have to take
force someone to
legality
go
out
to
of this.
rehab.
Sorry,
You can't-
sorry. Keelan, when on this podcast have we ever done something legal? We're talking about pushing fat guys in front of trains and robbing banks to give to orphanages, all right?
Yeah, legality's long
Right,
gone. If
right.
we're not lawyers here, we don't know what we're talking about. So.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't
Yeah.
plead ignorance.
Yeah, because yeah,
I'd probably send him to rehab because honestly, like, let's be honest. I've watched enough Breaking Bad to know that whenever somebody comes up to your door who you know is using, you go, hey man, can I have some money? They're probably not going to use it for things other than recreational substances.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't care how strong of a person you think you are, or, this person you think this person is. Drugs have a pretty strong hold on somebody. So I would care, and if I'm actually friends with this person, like I actually care about this person, I would care more about their well-being and their health than us, going out for drinks every Saturday night.
Right. Yeah.
So I'd probably be willing to risk that friendship for their well-being than, just hand
I think
them
in like
wad of
a
cash.
real world situation, if you sent your friend to rehab and the rehab truly helps them, they would probably forgive you and be like, "Oh, thank you for getting my life back on track." But in this hypothetical situation, that ain't happening. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting. I don't know what I would do, because I wouldn't want to do something that someone really doesn't want to do. Like I wouldn't want to force someone to do something that, like, I don't want to play God and be like, "This is what you need, buddy." You know what I mean?
Well, out of the two options, that's what I would do. And if this was like a real life situation, I probably just wouldn't give them the money and just go, "Sorry,
same.
man, you're
Yeah.
shit out of luck."
Yeah.
It's not like I'm gonna in real life handcuff them and drive them to rehab.
Yeah.
Where would you get the handcuffs? That's the question.
That's true.
Ooh, I got some. What?
Yeah, that's a good point. I think that this is a tough question though.
I don't think it's really
like
that
if I had to choose between, I think it really boils down. It really boils down, if you get rid of all like the details, it really boils down to, are you willing to lose a friendship for their well-being?
Mm-hmm.
And I would say yes. I'm willing to lose the friendship if it means they are in a better place.
Yeah,
in their
they're
life.
better. I feel like our best choice, yes, is probably to send them to rehab, because ultimately it does matter more that they get their life back on track and that they're healthy, as opposed to like just wanting to stay friends. Because how are you going to stay friends anyways if they're all off the rails?
If they're not willing to,
if you want to
help themselves get better or accept help to get better, then there's really nothing else you can do.
Yeah.
And if you really want to get cynical about it, though, you can force them to rehab, but that doesn't really mean anything. It doesn't mean they're going to get better.
Mm-hmm.
That is also true.
Yeah. That is true.
Wow, what a Debbie Downer, honestly.
I know. Tough question.
Honestly,
but
this was more of a downer than the sacrificing a child to aliens one.
I think we discovered. I think we would send them to rehab, but it was one that I wasn't sure about. But good question, Sage. Great question.
Sage, good question.
Mm-hmm. I know that was the only person that we exposed for that being their exact question. But here's another one. So, is it ethical to date? Sorry, this is like on Reddit. They have like the title of the question, and then there's like a thread, basically. So I'll read the title. Is it ethical to date / marry / befriend someone knowing you will die young? So, with the knowledge that I will die young, is it morally okay to befriend people, date people, or even marry them, knowing that any good, lasting relationship will likely lead to them being left without me? What about having kids? Would it be morally wrong to have kids if they would only know that parent until they're 5 or at most 10 years old? Sorry, this is Debbie Downer.
Oh my goodness.
Wait, can you?
Okay,
can you go over
I've
it
watched
again?
movies where this happens. So basically, like, this guy's like, "Oh, I'm gonna die. Should I be allowed to, like, is it morally okay or ethical for me to like get into deep, meaning relationships when I'm gonna leave them alone, super sad, anyways?"
Right. You know, this is
I think
exactly what happens in Rent.
Yeah, it happens a lot.
This is
a
Roger's
trope in
conundrum.
Tons of movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's not really. Okay, this is gonna sound weird, but it's not really like your decision to make.
Mhm.
If you go and you're talking to somebody, you got a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, and things are moving, and you want to be with this person, and you know for a fact, somehow you know for a fact, I got 10 years max. be honest with the person and then make it their choice to stay with you
Yeah.
or not. Be like, hey, you got 10, we're not married yet, or we're not, fully together yet. You can either walk away now, suffer a little bit of heartache now, but you can leave, or we can stick it out for however long I have, and you can deal with the heartache after.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's
As
the
well
thing.
as it's also a conundrum. Is a short but fantastic experience, probably like spending your life with the person who you like is probably like your soulmate or whatever you want to call it, is a short version of that with pain at the end better than not experiencing that at all?
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I would definitely argue that experiencing it in the first place, even though it's cut short and there's pain at the end, is better than not having it at all.
Yeah, I agree. I think that ultimately, as long as you're not getting into a relationship with someone not telling them that you're gonna die in like 2 years, then that's might be a bit
Yeah.
shady. But if like that person wants to be in a relationship with you, wants to, marry you, why not, right? Like you'd still deserve that. Just because you're gonna die doesn't mean you don't deserve
And it's
to
not
be in a
just about you.
relationship.
They deserve it too.
yeah, if they
Just-
really want
just-
that, yeah.
A couple years of happiness to them could be worth many years of heartache,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
right? Who says it's not worth it?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I have thought this in movies before, or even when you, I think the kid one gets a little bit more complicated. Like when you have children and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna die and gonna leave all these kids without like a father or a mother.
Wait, how many
like,
kids
is
do you
that
have? What is
ethical?
all
I
these
don't-
kids.
Yeah, I know. That's when it gets a maybe.
Are we
a
we
bit
talking
harder
like the
'cause-
Hollinshead family band? Is that what we're talking about, or
Yeah, yeah. Freaking guys like, I'm gonna die in 2 years. I'm gonna pop out like 18 kids, 18 different women. Is that ethical? I don't
No.
know. I don't know if it is.
is it moral? No.
But yeah, I feel like to get married or be in a friendship, why the heck not? Like that's not. I think that's
Yeah.
totally. You should be doing that. If you know you're gonna die, you've got to live your life to the fullest. And if people
Yeah.
want to be along for that ride, let them. But the kids, to me, is I think if everyone's open and willing, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But
Well,
if I was in their shoes of being like, I'm gonna die, would I want to start having children? If I only had 2 years left to live and I wouldn't even really get to know the child that much, and I just kind of leave that child with that
Well, like-
over them for the rest of their life, like
Mhm.
I don't know how I would feel about that.
Well, again,
Yeah.
it's not 100% just your choice either, right? If you're with somebody and they know you're about to die and they look at you and go, hey, I want to have some kids,
Mm-hmm.
that's a pretty big discussion, being like, okay, well, I'm going to die and this kid is going to be maximum 5 years old.
Yeah.
Are you willing to go the next, 15 years raising this kid alone?
Yeah. of course.
Potentially.
But I was gonna say potentially,
all
right?
those-
unless
there's all those
unless
factors.
unless you also have that conversation of like, after I die, I do want you to go out and like see other people, kind of thing, right?
Fall in
Mhm.
love. Yeah.
Fall in love.
Is that ethically okay? Are you okay if you die? That they
No,
go
you're not
find
okay.
someone
You're
else?
dead.
No.
No, the question
I'm
is,
not okay with it. I'm
is
haunting
it
them.
ethically okay for them to get a head start on it?
Yeah. Like you have a say. You guys like sit down, hold interviews, kind of thing. Yeah. Like, well, if I'm gonna die, I'm okay if you fall in love again. But
You know what?
I just wanna
Jeremy
be
was a
part of
good
the
candidate,
process.
but John, the way he disrespected your mother's wallpaper, I really hated that.
they do freaking like bed tests and crap. Oh, God.
Oh no.
This is a sketch. This is a complete sketch right here.
Totally
Like
is.
you're dying, and you're holding interviews to find your next spouse with your soon to be widow. Oh my
man.
gosh, I can see it already. I can see
Yeah.
it.
Start writing now.
I'm okay if you end up with Jeremy. I'm okay if you end up with Jeremy, but just cremate me and paint me on the wall, so at least I can watch.
I can watch.
I liked him. I liked him a lot. But yeah, we're
Oh my
saying
Lord.
that if you're dying, you deserve to have all the happiness of relationships as any
Mhm.
normal person would. As long as everyone's like aware, as long as you're not being like shady about it and not
Yeah.
telling people.
Yeah, just don't be shady.
Don't be shady about it.
Don't be shady.
Be
Yeah.
open that you're
Li-
gonna
that
die,
you know, if that's a life lesson that you could take from Dilemma Dudes, that's it. Just don't be shady.
Don't be shady. Open that sunroof.
Just end it.
Don't be
Just
shady.
don't be shady.
Yeah. Take that umbrella down. Don't be shady.
Yeah, don't do it.
All
Mm-mm.
See that tree? Cut it down. Don't be shady.
Okay,
right, hit me with another one.
here's another one. We can pop through these ones fast. We're just killing it today.
Yeah.
Okay, this one's a little more crime based again.
Oh,
So-
love it.
Should this person stay a prisoner? Let's say that a person went to jail for killing 20 people brutally, but then they got hit on the head and suffer from amnesia, forgetting everything that they were and being sorry, this is just bad Reddit. Forgetting everything, and now they're a new person. Should he be set free, stay in prison, or be executed?
Wait, are they already set up for execution?
Oh,
So I guess he's in jail. I don't know. Maybe he was going to be executed, but now
you almost
he's
said
a completely
probably.
new person because his brain got damaged. Yeah,
You almost like,
Here's
yeah,
the
he's in
thing.
jail. Of course
here's
he
the
is.
thing.
yeah. Of course he's getting executed. That's what happens to everyone.
Here's the thing, though, is people who go on these these killing sprees, right? Generally, they're messed up in the head.
But if he's not
Generally-
anymore, though, that's what it's saying.
No,
Well, he's
hold
even
on,
more
hold on.
messed up in the head
Okay.
because he doesn't remember anything.
Yeah, that's the thing is like a lot of these people they're again I'm probably gonna get the terms wrong, but they're like psychopaths or sociopaths or whatever it is. Is that gone? Because at the moment I'm pretty sure there's no cure or anything for something like that. There's no way to really treat that other than just kind of therapy and just talking about it.
Right.
Are they still a psycho? Let's be honest here. Are they still a psycho? And if they are, people with psychotic tendencies, they generally go out and hurt little animals as a child, and they don't really know that it's wrong, but they still do it. Is that just going to start happening all over? Have you just hit the reset button and he's just going to go down the same path again? Because I'd say
Yeah,
he probably will.
It says that that they've forgotten everything that they were and they're a completely new person. So
Well,
it's
like,
a hypothetical situation.
If you think about
I doubt that he's a new person.
truthfully, if that happens, they would still be locked up until, say, a psychiatrist, other health professionals say, he's okay to go back out in civilization.
Hmm.
I think that, obviously if they test him and stuff and he still has psychotic tendencies, they're going to be like, absolutely not. Or
Yeah.
they're going to, maybe
but now
lower
again,
his
we're
sentence or
playing,
whatever.
Yeah, we're playing legality here, and we're playing that it's a real
Mhm.
situation. This is a hypothetical. In the hypothetical situation, he's a completely new person. He's no longer the psychopath. So,
Yeah.
but here's the thing. I still think in that situation that, justice is justice. So even though he's a new person, it would be, horrible to those 20 people that were killed just to be like, well, he hit his head and he's a new person, so we let him out. Because then that just, where's all that justice now? Now this guy's like... But if this was a
Right.
genius play, he hit his head and pretended that he was a new person, whew,
Well,
Well, it,
Like-
it
like-
reminds
like
me of
a movie right
here's
there.
the thing.
Movie
Here's
idea.
the thing. It's the same. It's kind of on the same lines as obviously this is much worse. But it's like you get pulled over and you go, "Oh, sorry, forgot my license." Doesn't matter. You
Mhm.
broke the law. Or it's like you ran a red light. Oh, sorry, I forgot red means stop. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Well, I think it's a little different.
I was listening to I can't remember what podcast it is. It's with one of the guys from Impractical Jokers. I think it's just called Bad
Oh,
the
Sal?
Bad
Love
Podcast.
those guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember who the podcast is with. But anyways, he has one
Yeah.
and his podcast partners talks about how when he first started driving, he thought that that after a certain time of night, red lights were suggestions. And he was like it was like
Should be.
3 in the morning and he stopped and then rolled through a red light and there was a cop right behind him, so obviously he got pulled over and the officer was like, did you not see the red light? And he was like, yeah, I did, but I stopped. He's like no, you have to stop and wait.
Oh my
That
goodness.
just reminded me. But the whole hitting your head and not remembering you're a psychopath thing also reminds me of Billy Russo in The Punisher. In the
Not
first season.
familiar.
Well, first season,
Oh,
Billy
okay.
Russo.
I only
is
watched
this-
like half of that show, so I'm mildly familiar.
Right. So Billy Russo is Frank Castle, one of his old ex members of his squad or whatever. Billy Russo goes clean, goes gets into private security, becomes this huge private security name, but then you find out that deep down he's actually still psychotic and still doing stuff with the gangs and the mafia and whatever. But in the end, Frank ends up shooting him, or someone ends up shooting him in the head, and it causes him to lose his memory. So the next season, he has no memory. He ends up still being a psychotic murderer, but it's that they were just they had him doing tests, and psychiatrists were seeing him, and he had to write down his dreams because he was having dreams of the Punisher skull floating around him and whatnot. But yeah, it just reminded me of that.
I wonder if someone came up with this theory from that show.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know. I'm still of the verdict that someone's his crime is his crime, and you can't just let him off scot-free.
No, I agree with that. I don't think it matters. Just because you don't remember what you did doesn't mean that it didn't happen and that you...
If you can't remember the password
you can't,
to
you don't
to
get
your
out of jail
login,
when you're
it's
like,
still
oh, I'm
your
a new
login.
person now. Yeah. Yeah, if anyone shows up one day and is just like, oh, well, I've gone through some therapy, all of a sudden I'm a new man. You can't just get out of jail now. Especially if it was a smaller crime, they might adjust your sentence. But when you brutally killed 20 people,
Yeah,
I don't think just being oh, I'm a new man. I read my
Yeah.
Bible.
It's just
I've
not
been
a
praying
get out of
lately.
jail free card.
Yeah, no, it's not a get
Yeah.
out of jail free card. But it's an interesting theory because it's okay, well, then this guy's staying in jail, and he's almost like a new person. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah,
Because he's
that
a
would
person
be
that wouldn't even
interesting.
remember what he did. I
Doesn't remember what
think
he
that'd be
do,
an
and that's-
interesting emotional
Is that
state to
all
be
he
in.
remembers? Is waking up in a jail, or is it he just doesn't remember the crimes?
Yeah, the thing is a hypothetical, right? But I would imagine, yeah, he's, let's just say he was a brand new person, literally. I don't know. It just
So this
completely
grown
new
man hits his head and wakes up and just goes,
Mhm. Just
starts
an
life
infant all of a
over
sudden.
in a
Oh
jail.
my gosh, we're coming up with some good movie and sketch ideas today, though.
They're all copyrighted.
Yeah, that's
Already.
honestly
Anyone
a
listening?
cool movie idea. That's one of those really dark, odd movies I could just see.
You know who could play that?
this man.
We could get Danny DeVito to play him because he looks like a child.
This man wakes up in prison and has to go through his whole childhood in an
His whole
adult body
childhood.
in prison.
Oh my goodness.
Doesn't know
Oh
how
my
to chew
goodness.
food. Has to get baby food. Has to learn everything. Yeah.
And he also said, and he also he's also in death row and maybe he's still going through trials and stuff. But he's has no memory, and he's in
Do you
court,
have
he's
anything
speaking
to
like a
say for
toddler.
yourself? You have anything to defend for yourself?
But at that point, would
That's
he
your
be trialed,
defense!
would he be trialed as a minor?
Yeah.
No, no.
The thing is, it would only make him look more psychotic by being like that now.
Yeah. They're like, well, of course
He's
he
going
is
through
not.
this angsty teen phase. He's
Yeah.
going through his angsty teen phase in the middle of a courtroom. Just
Shut up,
and
Mom,
how
I'll
do you
kill
plead?
you.
I don't even care. Gosh.
I love this. Oh my gosh, I'm
Oh,
inspired.
terrible. What would this movie be called?
Write a whole screenplay. Man, I don't know.
Young in a Second?
Prison Baby. I don't know. Yeah, this is great. This feels like a cheap.
5 years till birth?
Yeah, this just feels like one of those Netflix movies that would come out, and
Yeah.
it would probably kind of suck, but you'd watch it because it was mindlessly entertaining.
It's like one of the Netflix
Yeah.
movies that doesn't have huge promo, there's not any trailers,
Yeah.
it just all of a sudden shows up on Netflix.
Yeah, and it would be #1 in Canada because Canada just has garbage taste in movies on Netflix. I've noticed that. If you're on Netflix, I'm so disappointed to be Canadian with the top 10 things that we watch in Canada. Sorry, some of them are so embarrassing. Then I have a
man.
VPN. Sometimes I go on UK Netflix. I'm like, these guys are smart and sophisticated. Like their
You
shows
guys
are
are
into.
tough.
Yeah. I mean, I think the States is probably just as bad as us. But
Oh,
Canada
probably.
just has an exceptionally horrible taste in Netflix.
All right, do you want to do another one?
No. Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Whatever, I don't care.
Okay, this one was someone asking for advice on the Reddit
Oh.
forum, and I kind of like this. So,
You just link them or
Yeah.
podcast.
so he's like, I had a minor accident with the other driver being at fault. The police didn't even file a former accident report. They just had us swap insurance info. The other driver wanted to settle outside of insurance and asked me to let them know what it would cost to fix my car. I got a quote from the body shop that my local dealership recommended and forwarded it to him, and he's sending me a check for that amount. Now a friend is telling me we can get some parts and fix it for much less. Morally, should I send him back extra money? A few details to consider. 1, had we gone through insurance, they likely would have paid this body shop to do the work. 2, the at-fault vehicle was a semi-truck, so I imagine the driver would be in a real bind if he has an insurance claim filed against him. As in, it would probably benefit him to pay a decent amount out of pocket if it means keeping his livelihood. So basically, do you go back to this guy and be like, hey, you gave me too much money for the repair? Or do you just take the extra money?
Take it.
That's how I
it's
feel.
such a hard one. I'm like, 'cause,
Honestly,
I mean,
like emotional damages.
Yeah.
yeah,
You're doing the guy a favor still.
yeah.
Like, you're
It's
still
so
doing the
like-
guy a favor by being like, yeah, we won't report this. This is all off the books. You know what I mean? So taking that little bit of extra money, I think
You
it's
know what?
fair.
But
Yeah.
but it is saying that the guy who asked for this as advice is such like a kind of soul that he even
Mhm.
crossed his mind to go, oh, I should give that money back. What I don't need, I'll give back. It's like
We know
yeah.
Devin and I would be
Dang.
horrible people, and it wouldn't even
Yeah,
cross my
I'd-
mind.
I would go,
because
dang,
he's such
you know, new
because
keyboard,
he's such a
new...
good person. Because he's such a good person, he deserves that money.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I
Yeah, he
agree.
deserves it.
All right, we're done.
All right, there we go.
Thanks for listening, guys. No, I would compare this to, like, let's say you bought something off Kijiji and you like overpaid, and then you're like, hey, I overpaid for this. I just saw it for cheaper. Can I have a little bit of money back? Like, I don't know. That's how, or like, I think it's reverse. Like, if someone overpaid to you and then they came back and were like, no, sorry, I
No,
can't explain this
the
analogy.
difference
You get
is,
what I
is
mean.
the difference is he's ignorant about it. He doesn't know.
Yeah, the other guy has
Right.
no idea.
He has
Well,
no
neither of
idea.
them knew
I
in
don't
the
think
first
the other guy
place. Like,
cares.
neither of them did anything wrong.
It would be
Yeah.
like it's not wrong of him to be like, yeah, I don't want to. I like it. I don't know. It's it wasn't wrong of him to find these other, these cheaper parts.
Mhm.
The thing that makes it wrong is that now he's having these thoughts of, oh, should I go back to the dude?
because
Yeah.
the biggest difference is between, like, let's say the Kijiji thing. It would be like if I was selling a table on Kijiji, right? And it was listed for $500, but that was a typo. It's supposed to be $250. And Noah goes, "Oh, I'll pay $500." Gives me $500. I look at it and go, "Oh crap, that was a typo." But this guy just paid me $500.
Yeah.
Now, in that situation, I would totally give the money back
Yeah.
because he's paying for a service. He's paying a thing. In this, it's an accident. Damages were done. He's paying for those damages, and you're already doing him a favor by not going through insurance. Insurance would screw him over way more.
Yeah.
And it's not that he's not paying a fair price. Like, he paid a quoted price.
I was gonna say, he
You
paid
just
the
had a
price
buddy
that he was
able to get
originally
it cheaper
given.
for you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you, like, it's not like you purposefully asked for more money. Like, he paid you a price that was fair for the costs, and then you just happened to find somewhere cheaper. So it's
Yeah.
whatever.
I would
That's you
maybe
playing the system well.
I'd maybe go back to the dude and just say, hey, I know this was the quoted price and you did pay it. I did find some parts. Do you want some of the money back, or can I use them for, extra parts or other things? Like, I'd maybe just be like straight
Yeah.
up honest with them instead of being like, take your money back. I'd be like, do you want the money, or are you still okay with me having this money?
Yeah. Because you're doing, like the way I look at it is you're doing this guy a huge favor already
Yeah.
by, like, not contacting your insurance, not contacting his insurance. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I would do. I think if the guy was like super nice when it happened, I might contact him. But if he was like super standoffish or something, it would be different. I think it would
Yeah.
depend.
I'd keep it.
I mean, ideally,
I'm starting to think like, oh, what would be the nicest, best thing to do, and what would I want done for me? I'd probably want them to contact me. But then at the same time, I don't think I'd expect that, because if I got a quote, if they gave me an official quote,
But he has
It's
no
fair.
idea.
yeah.
They have no idea.
ignorance is bliss.
Anyways, that was an interesting one.
One
Okay, we'll do one more.
more.
One more. Here we go.
A juicy one.
A juicy one.
The juicy one.
Oh, this one's pretty juicy. So,
Ooh.
your best friend is getting married. She's so excited. That's how they wrote it. She's been planning it for over a year. You've been helping her from the flavor of the cake to the wedding dress. We're all excited. It's her big day. You're helping set up the venue, making sure everything is going smoothly. But then you catch the groom come out of another room, buttoning up his shirt, followed by a bridesmaid who happens to be fixing up her makeup, both giggling away. Anyway, long story short, you know what happened. You guys know what happened?
I'd run up
No,
and go,
please explain.
"Hey, what's so funny? I want to be in on the joke."
Yeah, you guys, we know what they were doing in that room. So, do
Building
you
Legos.
tell your best
Yeah.
friend straight away? You cannot let her proceed with this. But bear in mind, she's only a couple hours away from her big moment. She's so excited, and unfortunately, you're going to have to take that from her. Or do you let her enjoy the day first? So much money has gone into it. Everyone is already here waiting excitedly. Then maybe the next day pull her aside and tell her what happened.
Yikes!
Ugh.
Yikes!
Okay,
This is
I have a question. I have a question before we start.
Yeah.
Is she legally married yet?
No, the wedding hasn't happened.
Well, sometimes like my brother
Oh.
did this. They technically got married a week before,
they
like,
signed
actually
it
signed
at
all the
City
paperwork,
Hall. Yeah,
and then they had the actual ceremony.
Well,
'Cause
no,
here's
let's
the
just,
thing.
let's say they're getting married at the wedding.
I would tell her before she legally binds this thing.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because if she wants to break it off, once it's legally bounding, oh my goodness, that's such a hassle.
I just feel like,
yeah.
okay, if you're telling her after the wedding, like, how do you bring it up? Like, yeah, so I noticed before the wedding, I just didn't really want to say anything. But like that's just
So,
so
Tiffany,
awkward.
I saw something just hilarious before the wedding yesterday.
How long
And,
after the
so
wedding do you
it
tell
was
her
Jeremy.
Yeah.
It was Jeremy and Sarah, and they were just like coming out of a room. Isn't that hilarious?
Do you bring it up super innocently? Like,
Yeah,
oh man,
yeah.
you're Jeremy and Sarah. They're close, eh? They were giggling away coming out of that room.
I would instantly that moment walk to the bride's room, kick the door open, and be like, "Bitch, guess what just happened?"
And like,
And I would tell her just straight away, honestly.
yeah, you have to tell them straight away because, yeah, why wait until afterwards? Because then they're also gonna get mad at you. Because you're like,
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
It
I
depends
saw
how you
this
bring it
before
up.
the wedding, and they're like, why didn't you tell me before I got married to
Yeah.
this absolute trash bag?
And no matter what you do, her big day is going to get ruined. It just depends if you telling her as soon as possible gives her more control over the situation. Because if you tell
Yeah.
her afterwards, she's kind of trapped and doesn't really have a lot of options. Where if you tell her beforehand, she has control over the situation and she can say she's going to be obviously really emotional, but she can figure out exactly what she wants to do and how to proceed. She's not
Yeah.
locked in anywhere and she has options.
If you do tell her afterwards, how long do you wait afterwards? Are we talking like right after the ceremony?
I think it said the
You're
next
talking
day. I think it
during
said
the
next day.
reception, while they're on their honeymoon. Give her a little text.
Yeah, it says then maybe the next day, pull her aside and tell her what happened.
I wouldn't.
See, like, here's the
wouldn't even
thing.
wait that long.
If I was in her situation, I feel like I would just want to enjoy the day and like not stress about it because it'd be so embarrassing with everyone there. Like, it's going to be embarrassing no matter what, but it's different embarrassing being like everyone's there and you're having to make an announcement and they're going to have to leave versus like everyone just hearing through the grapevine.
You know what I would
mean?
do? I would
But
I
do
would
you
talk to
want
the groom and tell him, you need to, I know what you did. You
Yeah,
need to tell her what you did.
You need to
I
figure
leave
this
it up
out.
to him. And then if
Yeah.
he doesn't, then you tell her like right away.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I'm almost the exact opposite of you, Noah. If I was in her shoes, I would want to know. I would want to know. So I'm not looking on the day. I'm not looking this piece of trash in the eyeballs and trusting them. I would want to know as soon as possible so I know exactly where we stand.
Yeah. I feel that too, but I think it's the only thing that would be holding me back is the fact that all the guests are already there. And then like just the embarrassment of someone having to get up and be like, unfortunately everyone, we just saw the bridesmaid and the groom getting it on in the other room, so the wedding's canceled. Let's all head home.
But that doesn't look bad on you. That looks bad on him.
No, that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
It's still embarrassing.
I
I'd be
know it
embarrassed
is,
no
but
matter what.
I don't know, me personally as a person would rather deal with that than the alternative.
I think because I'm such a logistical person too, I think about that and then having to just cancel the whole wedding. Like just in my brain would be like, oh my God, I had this whole day planned. This is how it's ending. Whereas if I was like, okay, if I got
you're
through the
wasting
day,
it anyway.
no,
Just
but
do
if
it-
you got
do
through
it
the day,
movies do, though.
whatever. I mean,
You-
it would
you have to-
suck emotionally.
You have to
But,
do
um,
what
Well, because here's
movies
the thing,
do.
Noah. Here's the thing.
It'd be good.
Go ahead, Devin.
Here's the thing, Noah. Is you're talking about knowing and going along with it anyway,
No,
right?
no. I'm talking about I don't know.
Because you just mentioned suffering through. Because like if I knew, I might make the choice to just suffer through and then deal with it afterwards. I'm just
No,
saying I would
I'm not- I
want to
don't-
know as soon as possible,
Yeah, I actually,
so I could
don't
make
know.
the choice.
I feel pretty confidently that I'd be okay with just getting through the day and then finding out the next day. Like I'm saying, if I'm in that person's shoes,
Here's what I would do.
but maybe that's just weird.
I would do what most movies do, because usually the bride and groom's parents, one of them are divorced from their wife or husband and they're dating someone. So here's what I would do. I'd say the wedding is over, but my mom and her boyfriend would like to get married instead. And then we're all good.
Yeah. What is this, Mamma Mia? Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that what happens in Mamma Mia?
And every single other movie where that there's a wedding in it, yeah.
That's true. Just find another. Okay, this would help with my logistical nightmare. Then I just
'Cause then
want
it's all paid
someone to
for.
appreciate all the work that went into the day. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would just be so sad if we
but
just all had to
what, like-
leave.
Yeah, it would suck. The logistics would suck, but like in the grand scheme of things, it's like who cares? Who cares?
I don't know. I don't know. I
Sure,
think-
sure. The guest wouldn't care. They lost a bit of gas money
Okay.
and they wasted an afternoon. Who really
okay,
gives a crap?
let's meet in the middle. Okay. The piece of trash groom gets kicked out, but we all still freaking party. Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. Now we're talking.
Yeah,
We just
now
party.
we're talking.
So he's gone. He's out of here. All his trash friends are out of here.
Yeah,
And
get
then
the
the rest
heck
of
outta
us-
here, you piece of garbage.
Nah, I'm okay. Like, I mean, it would be an emotional day for this poor bride, but let's just party the night away.
Yeah,
you
just
know?
drink it away.
Drink that apple juice. Party it away.
Popping chips.
I think that's the ultimate solution. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
I'm gonna comment that on the Reddit thread.
Do it.
Oh,
Ultimate solution.
Honestly,
Okay,
just
guys.
drink your worries away.
Beat the groom up, party all night.
By the way, what a trash bridesmaid too.
Yeah, I know.
'Cause the
He's
bridesmaid's
gone.
supposed to be a friend of the bride.
Yeah.
Wait,
What a piece
instead
of
of-
garbage! I would fight her
ins-
in the parking lot, honestly.
Instead of having someone else get married, you just have the groom and the bridesmaid get married.
like, you made this decision, you're stuck with it.
You love her. You love
You're
them,
getting married
each
in
other
front of
so
all of
much.
us right
Then
now.
fine, you're getting married right now. Go.
Now that's another good movie. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Guys,
Oh my
we
goodness.
could freaking start a production house now.
Yeah.
We got.
I would just get the whole bride's side of the family and just freaking beat the crap out of the two of them. Just fight them in the parking lot.
Wow, dude. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay then.
It's what they deserve.
No, you get married. You wait until it's the bouquet toss. You toss it, and you purposely toss it to the bridesmaid, and then as she's about to catch it, you just deck her in the face. Be like, nope. Psych.
you put when you have your bouquet, you put bricks in the bottom of it and you just eat it right at her.
Yeah,
Like, take this, Sarah.
got lots of solid solutions here, I'd say.
Lots of movie ideas.
Man,
too.
we got some good movie ideas.
So
was the
in
first
recap,
one?
I would tell her right away.
Yeah.
I would tell.
and
Yeah.
I think I would. I would just wouldn't want I wouldn't want the day to go to waste. So however
You're
we can,
garbage.
as long as we can still use the venue and everyone
But
can party.
telling her would let her make the choice. She could say, all right, screw him, but we're still partying. Like,
Yeah.
it would at least give her the choice.
Yeah.
Or I mean, in the
That's
off
fair.
chance, she could also be like, "Man, that sucks, but I still love him, so I'm still gonna marry him." That's a classic movie trope.
Yeah, we'll
But
figure
it
it out.
could
We'll
happen.
figure it out tomorrow. Yeah, that could
Yeah.
happen too.
Yeah.
Or she could be like, yeah, I was in there too. They just walked out before me.
I just walked
You
out like
freaking
5
idiot. I was in
minutes
there
later.
too.
Like, why are you making a big deal out of it? Okay, we had
Yeah.
a good time.
He was blindfolded, so don't worry. He
haven't
didn't
had
see
a-
my dress. It's fine.
You ever had a pre-wedding threesome before? That's freaking weird.
What are you, freaking idiot?
Oh no.
Totally normal. I don't know what you guys are talking
What is this, the
about.
Middle Ages? Gosh.
Anyways,
Oh
we
my
just gotta. If you're listening, you can't take any of our movie ideas. I already
All
threw them up
copyrighted.
onto a copyright website.
Yeah.
So, however that works, you steal the ideas, we're coming for you.
Yeah.
And
you
you
Keelan's
can
our
also
lawyer,
can't.
so,
you also
better
can't
watch
make
out.
a. You can't make a brick covered bouquet because that's also patent pending. We've trademarked that as well.
Yep.
Yeah. For when you just want to wreck
Call it a
someone at
briquet?
a wedding.
It's called a bouquet.
We're selling them for $35.
It's at a store
Oh,
that we
man.
just called.
Well,
we just popped up called "My Bridesmaid's a Hoe,"
My bridesmaid's a hoe.
and the symbol is like a gardener's hoe. It's a gardener's hoe.
Well, we should talk about some exciting plans that we have coming up. I feel like we can tell people about our spicy wings thing that we're
I think
gonna
we
do
can.
soon.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Just
so we
been a long
bought a
time in the
bunch of
so
spicy
excited.
hot sauces a while ago,
Mhm.
and they got here like a couple weeks ago, but then there was the whole lockdown thing, but that's kind of lifted a little bit. So
Yeah.
we have some plans to get together, maybe including some special guests, and we're gonna come up with some fun things to go around eating these
Yeah.
crazy spicy
Inferno
wings.
It's gonna be a real
And,
spicy
we're gonna make-
video.
We're gonna make some content out of it. We're gonna have make a video out of it for y'all to watch. So that should be in. We don't really have a date yet, but let's say we're giving you a sneak peek right now. So let's say in
Yeah.
the next month-ish, that'll be out there. We'll let you know. There'll be some more
Stay
updates on
tuned.
that. Stay tuned.
And that'll be on the
but-
Yikes comedy side of things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Yeah.
might just throw some stuff up to sneak peek it on Dilemma Dudes too.
No, 100%.
Why not? And I'm sure we'll
We
talk
should
about
do-
it many more
We should
times
do
after it happens.
We should do an episode where we just eat hot sauce whole time.
As we're talking.
The whole Dilemma Dudes just eating hot sauce.
Yeah.
Make sure you check us out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube as well. All the Yikes comedy stuff as well is on there too.
Yeah.
And then you guys have heard it 1,000 times. Y'all got our personals as well.
We got our personals.
I mean,
think
they've
they're
heard
in
it 1,000
they're in the
times,
description.
but-
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
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 But thank you for listening. I know we gave a lot of advice today. Based
Good.
off of some Reddit threads. Again, don't take our advice, but if you do, let us know so then we can talk about it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you end up in one of these hypothetical situations, good for you. Like that's pretty sweet,
It's
honestly.
incredible.
I mean,
big advice to
I'm
take
worried
from
for
this
you.
is don't have a threesome before your wedding. So
No,
Mhm.
doesn't end well.
No.
Or put bricks in your bouquet.
Yeah.
yeah. Moral of the story is that.
And if you get in jail, if you're listening and you're in jail for brutally killing 20 people, just
your head
pretend
really
you got
hard.
amnesia. Hit your head
Yeah.
really hard and then just start
That's
acting like a baby.
another
Get one of those
demographic that
metal
we can.
prison toilets and just headbutt.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's another
Another
demographic we
demographic?
can sell these briquets to. Is just people who want to have amnesia.
Prison weddings, yes.
We're developing our market segment right now.
I'm just imagining a lady having this and throwing it up in the air and it just boom into the ground.
Oh man.
All right, everyone. Thank you.
Alrighty.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much for listening, and we will see you again next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.